I like Teen Titans. I really do. It was one of my favorite shows growing up, and I still think it holds up to this day. The weird anime reactions and cutaways notwithstanding. It's not a show I've watched recently, but it's one that I still have a fondness for, and one of the things that got me into superhero media in general. And I know by this point it's a cliche to say this, but I'll gladly take this show any day over the oversaturated embarrassment that is Teen Titans Go. And no, I haven't seen the live-action series, so I can't give my opinion there. However, all because I like a show doesn't mean I love every single episode. As with every series, there are at least a couple of clunker scripts not worth the paper they were scrawled on, that either needed another rewrite or would have been better off just shredded and tossed in the recycle bin. Today, we're going to take a look at an episode that I can't defend in the slightest, that I can find no redeeming qualities for. It's one of the worst episodes of the show, and possibly the worst episode of the entire series. That episode being The Beast Within. The episode opens on the Teen Titans fighting inside an animal research institute where
I think my appendix and my spleen just switched places.
And we're immediately doomed, as this is a Beast Boy-centered episode. Look, I'm okay with Beast Boy. Yes, he's the comic relief of the team, and even as a kid, I felt that he often came across as more annoying than funny, but he can still give a good line every now and then. There are times where he gets a bit of humanity, and he's shown that he can clean up his messes. Also, he has the best set of powers on the team, or at least the abilities I most wish I could have. The problem comes from when he's given the spotlight in an episode. I don't think the writers ever knew how to write him as anything but the butt monkey. Every time an episode focuses on Beast Boy, he's always in trouble, either by his own fault or because the universe has set aside the day to shit on him. And the other Titans either have to stop what they're doing to save him, or they completely forget he exists. Even when he's working with others, he's usually the one getting into trouble, because he's a goofball, and or he's trying to one-up whoever he's partnered with. The only episode I can think of where he saves the day and he doesn't cause the problem they have in the first place is Don't Touch That Dial, where he uses his vast knowledge of television to take down the villain. But even when he shows competence, he's still the comic relief, constantly cracking jokes that are more miss than hit. Which in a regular episode is fine, since another member is there to do something cool afterwards, but when we have to endure Beast Boy's humor through an entire episode with little to no input from the rest of the team, I can't go 5 minutes before I just want to smack him. Like all comic relief, he works best as a supporting character instead of the main focus. Otherwise, it's just another Cars 2 or Planet Sheen experience. Oh, but don't worry, we don't have to deal with Beast Boy constantly cracking jokes here. Because this isn't the annoying flavor of bad Beast Boy episodes. No. This is the depressing flavor of bad Beast Boy episodes. Like what we got from the Terra or Doom Patrol arcs, where we're supposed to take him seriously and sympathize with him. And if it's not already hard enough to have to endure Beast Boy when he's his jokey self for over 20 minutes, it's almost impossible when the show switches gears and suddenly insists that we see him as a fleshed out character. Especially since, in order for him to look good, someone else has to look really, really bad. And this episode is no exception. So the team is in an animal research lab fighting a villain named Adonis. Who's Adonis? What's his plan? Why are they in a lab? All these questions and more will never be answered. All we know is that he's the villain for this episode, he built his robot suit with flexible metal nipples, ew, and he's potentially a rapist.
Let me go! You're feisty.
Right! Come on, big man! Show me what you got! Show me what you got! Well, okay then.
Hey, what do you know? A funny line. Soak it in because it's the only one in the episode. Adonis knocks out the rest of the team, but Beast Boy manages to overpower him. He forces him against a wall and, despite Robin's warnings, punctures a tank of chemicals which covers the both of them. I want you to remember that the other Titans saw this, because this comes back to bite this episode in the ass, big time. Adonis' suit is shorted out by the chemicals, and the other Titans thank Beast Boy by being rude to him.
Good job.
Nice intensity.
Yeah, have any good freakouts lately?
Yeah, thanks for saving our lives, dick. Beast Boy understandably snaps back at them, much to everyone else's shock, indifference, and they go home. The opening theme plays, then we cut to Beast Boy waking up, feeling good and refreshed, and seeming like his regular self. Until the normally vegan Titan steals Robin's breakfast of ham and eggs. Robin notices Beast Boy's change in attitude, and does nothing. From there, we get a montage of Beast Boy being rude to the other team members, including not letting Starfire have the TV, being a sore loser and scratching Cyborg, and threatening Raven when they bump in the hallway. Intercut between these scenes are sequences of Beast Boy exercising, turning into an animal each time. I think these are supposed to misdirect the audience into believing something Cyborg says later in the episode, but we already saw him covered in chemicals. We know what the source of these freakouts is. It's like showing someone breaking their leg in a car crash, then later saying they broke it by falling off a skateboard. We already know what happened. Beast Boy's temper gets worse and worse, leading to a near fight between him and Raven. Robin and the other Titans intercede before things get ugly, and Beast Boy storms off to his room. Once again, nobody questions why mild-mannered Beast Boy has suddenly snapped. He continues to throw a tantrum, before he suddenly has a seizure and transforms into a giant wolf thing, breaking out of his room into the city and supposedly abducting Raven. The other Titans follow, and it's here where I have to point out the gorgeous animation on display. The cityscape, the detail in the alleyways, the various angles of the vehicles, the background crowds, this insane stunt Robin pulls with his motorcycle, it's all impressive, and something I particularly missed from older cartoons, before the industry decided everything had to look flat and new backgrounds and layouts were a luxury. Goes to show that even in its worst episodes, the series could still be impressive. Sadly, good artwork can't save a terrible script. Cyborg pushes a button that pulls up a tracker on Raven, which, wait, what were you doing before you pulled that up? And it leads them into the sewers, where we get this particular comment.
I wish to know that our friends are okay now, please.
Join the club. I can't even find BB's signal.
It's not Beast Boy I'm worried about.
Yes, you should be worried about Beast Boy. He's supposed to be your friend. Even if you're mad from his earlier outburst and believe he's behind all this, you should be worried about what he is now and wondering what happened to him. But no, this is a Beast Boy episode, so even his friends have to shit all over him. The Titans split up and look through the sewers, again with some gorgeous animation and background work, and they finally find a feral Beast Boy with an unconscious Raven in his mouth. And the other Titans immediately start pummeling their friend. Yeah, they make no effort to tranquilize or otherwise subdue him, nor do they try to get Raven to safety. They just start wailing on him and are justly slapped back. I know I'm supposed to side with the Titans, but after this line,
It's not Beast Boy I'm worried about.
seeing Robin knocked on his back feels satisfying. They finally subdue the Beast with an explosion that, well, in any other show should have killed him, and they're amazed to see that it was Beast Boy. Wait, you didn't know that was Beast Boy? The green tint and the claw marks all over his room didn't clue you in? And wait, if you didn't know that was Beast Boy, that makes Robin's remark earlier even more hurtful, since he straight up admitted he didn't care what happened to his friend. You are the scum of the earth, Robin. They take Beast Boy and Raven back to the tower, where they start running some tests on the both of them. And what a shock, Robin is an ass about it, immediately shouting at and blaming Beast Boy for what happened. Cyborg runs an analysis on Beast Boy's DNA, revealing that it's become unstable. And Robin even brings up the chemicals at the lab, so they finally have a clue what's going on. That means they can put Beast Boy in quarantine while they run some more tests, see what's wrong, and figure out a cure to bring Beast Boy back to his normal goofball self.
You need to tell me what happened.
I told you, I don't remember any of it.
If you can't tell me what happened, I have to assume the worst. I have to put you in jail. You need to remember.
Oh wait, I forgot. For this episode, Robin has to be the biggest douchebag in the DCU, and the universe has to open its bowels and rain down on Beast Boy. So they immediately drop the idea of a cure and start screaming at Beast Boy that he has to tell them what happened or they'll put him away forever. This unsurprisingly triggers another transformation, which Robin makes no effort to contain in a room with an unconscious team member that Beast Boy already demonstrated an obsession for, and they once again get their asses handed to them. At this point, I should probably point out that this is a Season 3 episode, a season that most fans argue is the weakest of the series. After the Slade arc, I don't think anyone knew where to take the show, and it wouldn't regain its footing until the Trigon arc, resulting in a large number of mediocre episodes, and Brother Blood, the big bad of the season, being nobody's favorite villain of the show. In fact, Season 3 as a whole seemed to have the theme of individual team members going crazy and dangerously obsessing over things. What separates those episodes from this one? The rest of the team were supportive to their teammates' plight. When Cyborg tried to eat everything he saw, they didn't try to blow him up, they used everything they could to slow him down. When Raven's crush turned out to be evil, they helped her banish him. They didn't stand around and say it's all her fault. Oh, and Robin, remember when you went crazy and tried to attack your friends because they were getting in the way of your delusions? To the point they also had to sedate you and lock you up for your own good? Yeah, maybe you could take that into consideration as you attempt to kill your teammate. whom you just admitted you know is being chemically controlled. Or just blow him up. Yeah, you really put the dick in Dick Grayson. Anyway, Raven wakes up, which, yeah, probably would have been a good idea to wait for her side of the story before raking Beast Boy over the coals, and she tells Starfire that Beast Boy didn't attack her. He saved her. We cut back to Cyborg and Robin cornering Beast Boy, where it's revealed that there are two giant beast things. They begin to fight, and again, Cyborg and Robin don't even lift a finger as their friend is beaten to within an inch of his life, and only show up after the fight is over. And it's revealed that the other beast thing was Adonis. Oh really? No shit. The other guy coated in chemicals also turned into a feral furry? And does that mean you just left Adonis after you pulverized him? Or were you so intent on murdering your teammates that you missed a recent jailbreak message about a giant weremonster on the loose? Seriously, at this point, Damian Wayne is a better Robin than you. They take Beast Boy back to the tower and give him an antidote to stop him from turning into Beast Boy. If that was always an option, then why didn't you just do that in the first— Oh, who cares, it's almost over. A clearly traumatized Beast Boy then apologizes to Raven and the others for being a jerk, and nobody apologizes to him for, trying to kill him. Beast Boy and Raven have a moment because, I guess after Terra, they wanted to pair him up with somebody, and this was before it was okay to go gay, and we end on a terrible joke from Beast Boy. Congratulations, writers! You have made an episode of Teen Titans where I despise the Teen Titans. Nothing about this plot works, and it feels like they scotch-taped 3 unrelated segments from 3 different scripts together to make this script. Everyone knows from the beginning that Beast Boy was exposed to dangerous chemicals, and yet nobody puts together until the end that they were the reason Beast Boy was acting crazy and becoming that monster. Oh, but Beast Boy wasn't even a monster, he was just framed for the actions of the other monster. Because I guess he was completely calm as a beast unless triggered, which doesn't match his rude and near-violent attitude leading up to him transforming. And even that pretty much disappears, and is clearly much more calm after he becomes the beast the first time. Until Robin sets him off again. Oh, and Robin. Robin's even more of a monster than Beast Boy is. He doesn't put together what's making Beast Boy rude. He moves straight to trying to kill Beast Boy when he first meets him. He doesn't even consider the idea of a cure and threatens to lock him up forever without waiting for Raven's testimony. He doesn't even consider his injured friends as he puts them in a dangerous situation. And even when he knows that the beast is Beast Boy, he tries to kill him again. Beast Boy was covered in chemicals that poisoned his mind. What's your excuse? The rest of the teams know better. Starfire, the bleeding heart of the group, also has no problem with obliterating her friend. And Raven, who tries to sympathize with Beast Boy at the end, is the smart mouth who sets him off in the first place. And I guess in the end, everything's swept under the rug. Because, yeah, a group I call my friends making no effort to help and instead trying everything they can to murder me are people I want to work with afterwards. The only 2 things I can call good about this episode is, again, the animation and some scenes with Cyborg. Cyborg is the only proactive member of the group. He's the one who tracks down Raven and Beast Boy, who actually studies Beast Boy's DNA for problems, and the only one who hesitates blasting his friend into oblivion. Also, he has the only funny line. And even then, I still hate him, because he's the one who suggests Beast Boy is losing control and doesn't give him an antidote until the very end. The only way I could see this episode salvaged is if it was all Beast Boy's fault. If he was aware that the chemicals triggered a change in him. And he liked it, because it let him keep up with his teammates and made him feel more appreciated. But every time he used it, he became more aggressive, more rude, more alpha, until he finally couldn't control it and became a fully feral beast the rest of the team had to control and find a way to cure. Sure, it would still make Beast Boy look bad, but it would at least be consistent and give us a reason to sympathize with him. Plus, he'd be held accountable for his actions, and not just have the episode say at the last minute that, no, it wasn't his fault, it was some other guy created solely for this story that we haven't seen since the first few minutes. As is, this episode is a black stain on the show's legacy. An episode where nobody is likable, nobody realizes the bleeding obvious, and the fact this team remains a team after the crap they put each other through is borderline insanity at this point. Skip this episode, delete it from your library if you can, and watch literally any other episode of the show. Me, I suddenly have a craving for ham and eggs.